We would like to take a minute to let you know about our sponsors that help bring our content to your listening ears week after week. Hog Glue and Hog Tabs, found at ansonpdr.com. Magnatech Mat, Mobile Tech RX. Edgy Tools, the king of PDR accessories and trinkets, where you get 15% off by using PDR TT15 on all Edgy branded tools. CBDDirectOils.com. It's not marijuana, kids. It's CBD, the all-natural alternative to help with your aches and pains. Get your life back using promo code PDRTT, where you get 10% off. For more information on our sponsors, visit PDRTooltime.com. And now for our show. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of PDR Tool Time. This is episode 178. I'm your host Vince D'Alessandro, along with Daniel Gran and John Renstrom. What's happening, gentlemen?
Hey, how are you?
Doing well.
Killing it.
Hot as hell where I'm at. How about you guys?
Roasting.
Perfect.
95.
Perfect. 70,
you never say that, John.
75 degrees here, man.
Been 75. Vinny skips out on work, goes hangs at the beach today.
I did. I took a half day. I took a personal day. I jumped out.
You son of a bitch.
A mental health day.
Yeah. My wife is like, hey, you know what? You need to slow down. Come and pick up your son from surf camp. I'm like, okay, no problem. Dropped everything. And
he's going to surf camp?
I know, right?
I want to go to surf camp.
I never got to go to surf camp.
No. Shoot.
That sounds like drowned camp for John.
That's people say, hey, do you surf out there? No, I drown. I'm a sinker, not a floater.
It's hard to be cool with my little forearm floaties and
I could see that. And if you guys don't know John, if you haven't met John in person, he is the whitest white guy you will ever meet. He's so
He's
white.
almost transparent.
He's almost transparent.
I make Casper look well tanned.
Yes. Yeah. I think you must have a lot of Scottish or Nordic blood in you or something. You know.
I used to be outside and in the sun all the time, but then skin cancer scare started. So it was like SPF 100 or 150. Big hats.
All that good
keep
stuff.
It covered up.
Yeah, it's safer that way. And in fact, you know what? I go to the beach. I cover up too. I don't need to be, even though I have my natural Italian sunscreen. You know, my oil like.
Yeah, you always look tanned.
Right, I got that. I took a pizza and rubbed it all over my face. Just that Italian oil oozing out of me all the time. It has SPF to it.
I'm like 2 shades away from transparent.
Pretty much. So awesome. Well, we got a great show, but before we get into it, we have a couple news stuff that is hitting this week. And Daniel,
PDR news.
Yes, PDR news.
Oh. In the news today.
Yeah. Well, coming up here is right around the corner, and we really haven't talked too much about it, is Mobile Tech Expo in Vegas.
Yeah, first time. And someone posted a little survey who's going, and a lot of people are going. I was kind of surprised at the response on it. And so I'm getting more excited about it because, one, we've never had it in Vegas, so it's going to be something new. Mike has told us personally, Mike Toledo, he has a timeshare at the actual hotel or across the street from the hotel, right?
That's where I'm staying.
And he says it's a great venue. He says it reminds him of the Caribe Royale. So I'm excited about that as well. It's kind of its own campus, so which we kind of missed from last year. And I think it's going to be good, and we can go out and see some entertainment. I'm actually going to bring my family for the first time.
Yep. I'm bringing my family too. I'm gonna head over there. I'm not sure because we're staying at the timeshare across the street at the hotel. Myself and Mike, both of our families, and it's a timeshare, so you have to rent it for a week. So I'm not exactly sure when I'm going, but I'm probably going to be there Tuesday or Wednesday through the rest of the week. So,
cool.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Yeah. So
I'm taking my family.
Oh, good. You're bringing the cat. You're bringing the furry cat with you?
All 2 of you?
Yeah, both of us.
And there's going to be some new things. The contest is going to be different this time around, which I think is going to be new and exciting for guys. There's going to be, you got to do 3 dents rather than 1. So it's, the whole thing's going to be a little bit different. You're going to see a bigger turnout from Ultra for sure, because they're within driving distance. So they've been kind of tapering back over the years, and this time Steve's excited about bringing the whole shop there. So you're gonna see a big turnout from them. Yeah,
Steve's 3 hours away. I'm 3.5 hours away in LA. Yeah. So it's definitely something that the West Coast, all us, if you're a West Coaster listening to us, you have to go to this show. If you've never been, I know a lot of us gripe about traveling all the way over to Florida, 3,000 miles for Mobile Tech Expo in Orlando, but you have no excuses now. If you're anywhere west of the Colorado Rockies, you got to go.
I've been going to my local techs and telling them about it, how freaking exciting our industry is. Our industry is like nothing else, and just collaborating with other techs, getting ideas, sharing ideas, seeing new tools. I mean, it's fantastic. And every year I come away energized and renewed about my business. And I need to energize every year. It's just something I have to do. And if guys have never done it, man, you guys are going to be surprised as hell.
Yeah. What's also cool too is we also we worked a deal. Anson and myself, we worked a deal with Mobile Tech Expo this year in Vegas. Where it's kind of a trial thing right now with Vegas, and we're going to have the IMI level 2 EV training there. So that's a huge step for us, because I've been traveling all over North America the past 4 or 5 months teaching this. And now, I try to gather as many technicians in one place as possible. And if we could bring this to Mobile Tech Expo every time, it's going to be more beneficial to you guys, because you guys are going to be there already.
So explain to guys why they should get certified there, because related to how they can make money off of it once they've gotten certified.
Okay, well, they don't necessarily have to go there to get certified.
Sure,
it's going to be no different.
But they're going to be there anyway.
They're going to be there anyway. And if you're there for Education Day, what's really cool this time around is that we're going to actually have the seminar on Thursday on Education Day, probably in the afternoon. And the seminar takes about 2.5, 3 hours, depending on how many questions I get. And then normally from there, you take a test, and then you go and actually do the power down procedure and get certified at that point. What we're doing is we're actually going to do the power down procedure on the floor of the convention on Friday and Saturday. So you're going to have a time slot that you show up to do it. And it takes about 15 minutes at that point for us to verify, that you actually power down the vehicle properly. And we're going to have Kevin Andrews and the TDN crew from England there as well assisting. So it's going to flow. If everything goes as planned, which it should go as planned, because I've been doing these courses now for months.
Yeah, you're nailing it.
And it's a well-oiled machine. It should go great. And I think it's a good avenue or area for you to go and do it if you're going to be there. You're going to be there on Thursday. Take care of it.
Is this going to just be on Thursday, and then the power down portion Thursday and Friday?
Yes, and if we have enough interest, because I think what might happen is a lot of people are actually going to be seeing it done on Friday and Saturday on the convention floor, that we might be able to do another seminar and go ahead and certify people on Saturday. So if we have enough interest on Friday, we'll do another seminar on Friday and then pull them in on Saturday to get certified.
So this is why you guys should be certified. One, it can save your life. So if that matters to you.
Kind of the top of the list,
right?
There, sort of a header.
And secondary, you get an electric vehicle, and let's say it's an insurance job. You get paid how much, Vince?
I charge
the insurance company.
I charge 1 hour mechanical plus R&I to get to the areas that I need to disassemble to turn off the vehicle.
And that averages about $400.
No.
I thought that's what it was.
No.
Like how much do you charge for power down?
1 hour mechanical in my area is $125.
Yeah, I was going to say probably about $125 in your area.
And then the R&I get $53 an hour based on what I have to So
yeah, each vehicle, because
each vehicle,
it'll be a little bit different.
up and down, I probably make about $225 off of it for a few steps to take, no more than 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, I misspoke because it must have been somebody I was talking to that got paid $400.
That sounds something like Paul Corden.
It was probably Paul Corden. Yeah.
But it's not only to save your life, but it's also to save the components that you're working on nowadays, because these electric and hybrid vehicles have modules in it that if you pop something, it's not hundreds of dollars in repairs. You're talking thousands of dollars in repairs.
Now.
So
I was just talking with a mechanic station who's getting ready to set up and be able to calibrate these sensors for all of the driving sensors, and how that affects us PDR guys is Subaru and Honda. Those sensors are attached to the rearview mirror. So when you're dropping that headliner and you're unplugging those mirrors, you're technically supposed to recalibrate that.
Yep.
He's got to have 45 feet of clear shop space to be able to recalibrate all of these sensors. I think he's going to be gearing up about $100,000 worth of equipment to just be able to recalibrate all these sensors on these new cars.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, since March, I've certified myself well over 100 candidates or technicians, and not all of them are PDR technicians. Some of them are detailed. This is not an exclusive PDR type of certification. This goes across everything: mechanics, first responders. I've done a lot of them since March, and it's one of those things that I met two people that were going to make a route out of this, being able to go around to body shops and charge the body shops to actually power down cars and then come back, kind of like an R&I guy, and then come back and turn it back on.
Yep.
So
cool. Makes sense.
Yeah. It's a revenue
so
of money.
Get yourself signed up for MTE Las Vegas.
Yes.
We'll see you guys there.
Yeah.
And we'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should we move on to our special guest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He's sitting there all patient and quiet.
Yes.
Yeah. You sound nice.
Yeah. We got the amazing Karl Stuckey. How you doing, Karl?
Hi.
Wait. Yes.
So Karl, Karl just sent me his hole straightener, and I don't know if you saw the post today, but I was working on a motorcycle tank. I was working on a Harley, and in the downspout inside, it has a restrictor hole inside, and you bend the crap out of it. And there's several other hole straighteners out there, and his is one of the ones that will fit inside there and be able to straighten the hole out, which I absolutely love. And so I had to post that for you today. And
yeah, I showed all of that. That's because I don't mess with motorcycles. It's just not something I want to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But it's one thing that's cool about it. The other thing I found out that it's kind of neat about your hole straightener that you just came up. I mean, first of all, it is friggin' nice, dude. It's the most professional looking one out there for sure. I mean, it looks, factory purposely made, which is great. And it has your name etched in one side and then screen printed on the other. It just looks beautiful. So congratulations on
They are sharp looking. It is a sharp looking tool, Karl.
Yeah.
Thanks. It just took a little while, but we think we came out with a really good tool.
You did.
Absolutely. When it was at MTE last year or in January, you were showing it off. I'm like, wow, this thing is really nice. I can't wait to get
one. We made a few little minor adjustments, which so it fit the smaller holes a little bit better. So now it'll fit like the small clip holes for like on Dodge and Mazda. Yeah, they seem a little bit smaller than some of the other holes.
Nice.
Now, the one thing that's kind of cool about it is it's like a vice grip. So it has a lock on it like a vice grip does. And the other day I was working on a front fender and it had the inside kink, on the fender. And I took that and I locked it onto that kink and it kept it from walking on me and moving.
Sure. Yeah.
And so that was kind of a secondary use for it, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of interest and a lot of different people coming up with different applications for it. So I'm kind of excited to see, what this is going to cross over to. just not just in our business.
Oh, that's what I'm doing with it right now. Thank you for sending me one, Karl. I got it. I believe I put it to work this Monday, and immediately I started. Every time I used it, I took footage of it. So I'm just
Thanks.
I'm building up a collage to make a cool video out of it because it is good. It's a very good, well-made tool that's going to last a lifetime. I can't imagine that thing ever breaking on you.
Yeah.
So you guys can.
If you're still doing dents, you got one.
Yeah.
No. I'm a only part-time dent guy. Now you guys can go to stuckytools.com and you can find the whole straightening pliers there. They're $79.99.
Great price point.
Yeah. It's just, it finishes out your work. When you clean up those holes on the bottom of your panel, it just sets your work apart. Somebody opens the hood, opens the trunk, and doesn't see everything all jacked up. It just gives a nice, clean, finished appearance.
Where I use it the most is taking the top cap of on working on truck beds, and you have to screw up that hole to get a decent sized tool in it. And I used to never fix that kind of stuff, and now you can straighten it all up and make it look pretty and get them flat. Make it look right.
The little plug on the side of the doors where the handle goes, a lot of guys go in there. I have a lot of route techs that are using it for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the plug sits flush and looks good,
Yeah. Yep.
And someone posted, I think it was the new Toyota Camrys. Am I right about that? Where they're saying the airbags are used.
Yeah. Pressure sensors.
Pressure sensors.
Oh, not just Camrys. That's like 90% of cars now.
Yeah. Yep. So, your hole has to be, airtight if you're putting that factory plug back in.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, of course, there's always the ever famous, highly talked about XL Hail Light by Karl Stuckey. Now, anybody who's ever listened to the show knows that I love my Stuckey Hail Light.
We talk about that light a lot.
Yeah, that sucker. I've been helping some friends with some dents these last couple of days, and that light is just on every panel every time. It is just so convenient. The guys that I'm helping out, he's still spinning his other light, trying to make sure that he doesn't have the cord wrapped up or wrapped around, and I just move my Stuckey light into position.
Well, and then I'll just send you a picture later. We got the A1 stands in last week, but we've just been so busy. We finally got them unboxed and put together, and it's based off of the picture you sent me, John, with the with the A1 base. They did a good job on it. It looks good.
Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Yeah, because one of the first things that always gets brought up is how much weight do you have to put on there? And I have it on an A1 base, and that's what Karl's working with, A1 on that, and nothing.
Now, Karl,
just the light and the stand.
Extend this thing all the way out, and the stand is a little heavier because it's steel, but now you don't carry any kind of counterweight. Stand, one light, you're good.
Is that the original A1 light stand for it, or are they making something?
No, they made one
for you.
Yeah, because they also carry the XL. So John and I have been working on some stuff since last year, after John Ristrom sent me a picture. John Callenbach and I have been and his team are working on the stand.
Yeah, they basically customized the TS1 stand, didn't they?
I think so. The one you have is basically the same base. I think he might have changed the stance a little bit, so it fits around the tires. We like it. We've been playing around with it since we just got them in. We actually already have some going out.
Nice.
So the next few days we'll do a video and post some pictures of it, and I think they'll be available from A1 also.
Now, Karl, what's your turnaround time nowadays? Are you back ordered, or are you?
Yeah, with all the hail and everything, we're still back ordered. Hopefully, once we get the new building up and going and can hire some more people and expand, our turnaround times will be a lot better. I've already gotten a few hate emails on that, but it's not something you can. I wish we could get stuff out faster, but we also want to make sure it's right.
It's one of those things that I would imagine it's a delicate balance, because it's not like you want to have, an inventory of 500 hail lights sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
Well, these lights we still make all the lights ourselves. The housings are made in Georgia. We do all the assembly, all the wiring. So it's not something that's mass produced somewhere. We're producing them here, so it does take a while. We haven't been able to keep them in stock all summer. We can't keep anything in stock. As soon as we have something made, it goes. Like it's good, and it's frustrating for the customers, I know, but we can only do what we can do,
Absolutely. Yeah. But you guys put out a phenomenal product. Your glue gun's great, and XL halide. And now for those that are curious, Karl's light takes its own battery, but it's the same battery that's in the big glue gun. So, get both.
Yeah, and it's a kryptonic battery that goes on forever and ever.
Yeah, I have my lights normally at about 75% power, and I'm pulling a good 8-hour day out of it.
I put mine up, and I usually get about 5-6 hours with 3 strips.
And temperature does make a play in that. So if you guys are working in 95-degree weather, you'll run that battery down a little bit quicker.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, batteries hate heat.
Yeah, they hate the heat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, that probably explains it, because we were working. It's been 95, 100 degrees in some of the shops.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was part of my training when I went through to become an instructor for the IMI. It was learning battery technology, or not, to the depths that it, Karl. But heat is definitely not a battery's friend at all. The other thing too, like I still have your original glue gun, and I still use it every day, and I haven't had to buy a second battery for it.
You have a couple originals. You have the original mini light too.
I do, yeah. And I still use it.
You use that one.
So it just it attests to your build quality. There's other companies out there. We're not here to bash other companies or anything like that, but you, as a PDR technician, you want your equipment to work and not have to slow you down to change LED lights or this and that. And things happen, of course. We're only human, and there's mistakes. But
electronics are always prone to failure. It just
exactly
part of
it is. Well, none of mine have failed, and I've had them for years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the first time. I remember when you first came out with your mini light. You were the first one to come out with a cordless mini light. And what year was that?
I think the first light we put out towards the end of 2009, but I think you guys I think we sent it off to Mike in maybe 2010.
Yeah. Because I remember being at MTE, and you came into our table and was promoting it. And next thing you know, people were just lining up down the road. You were taking orders left and right, and it was a beautiful thing.
We've come a long way since then. It's the one good thing about when you have competitions, you always got to look at making something better. You can't just be happy and sit back. You got to always be trying to improve.
Absolutely.
Now, you said earlier you were working on a new building, so you're expanding, it sounds like.
Yeah, we just bought a commercial property, so we're actually going to be merging the dent business also into the same building. We have it's probably about 2,000 square feet of space for Stuckey tools, and then we have like a 700 square foot garage that we will do, still do dent repair, offer, advanced training and things like that.
And where's that located?
Awesome. It's on Hilton Head Island.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, got a nice little spot. Now,
is that South Carolina or North Carolina? South
Carolina.
Okay. I don't get over to the East Coast very much. My geography is terrible.
You come visit us sometime.
I plan
on it. Hilton Head's a nice place.
Yeah,
it really is.
I just found out I have a timeshare that I could go to Hilton Head. And so
me too.
I might do that.
Yeah.
So something else that I'm playing around on StuckeyTools.com over here, and I come across something else that's a little near and dear to dent guys, but not dent related upon this website.
What's that?
T-probe holder. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, a good friend of mine bought a Traeger for me last year, and I love that thing. I use it all the time. And one bad thing, though, is that there's nothing for the probes for the smoker. So I found some 3D files. We kind of adjusted them a little bit, printed a couple, and then a bunch of people on the Traeger forum were like, hey, we need those too. So we printed up a whole bunch of them. They're not like as strong as something we offer that's injection molded, but they're all 3D printed. But it just makes it so neat to be able to wrap your cord up on your, from your probes and put them in.
And we know dent guys have got Treasure and all the other pellet grills that are out there, and that's why I had to bring that up, man.
That's cool.
Dent guys are foodies at heart, so check that out and get something to keep your probe safe and held into place without damaging it.
Very nice.
You know what's cool?
Go ahead.
What's cool too is you know, there's a lot of ex-Dent Wizard guys out there in the world. You know, they've trained a lot of guys, and I was fortunate enough to be in St. Louis a couple weeks with IMI, and they brought me into the tool room, and lo and behold, there's the reflection board that I use, which is the Stuckey reflection board, right?
Yeah,
so,
we make all the reflection boards for Dent Wizard now.
Yeah, so you know, some guys don't know that I grew up with that reflection. I still use that reflection today. I got my Stuckey outside reflection board using it. So if you are used to that type of reflection, I grew up with yellow, and I've always stayed with yellow when it comes to that. But there's a lot of guys out there that might be old Dent Wizard guys that want to go back to that type of that spray pattern that we used to have to hand spray. Well, Karl's figured it out. His dot matrix, you can't even see it on a panel. So, and the same with you could actually buy the printed portion and put that on your lights as well.
We have a film also. The nice thing on reflection boards it's always consistent. You never have to worry about, you know, environmental factors when you're spraying something or overspray. So you always get maximum light penetration through the board.
Yeah.
They all have a polycarbonate laminate, so it helps protect the fog. Mm-hmm. I personally like a smaller board, but that's what all the technicians get with Dent Wizard. So that's why they have the bigger board.
Yeah. Well, I actually have it on a yellow board, the printed one I put on my board, and then I flip it around the backside and put it in my light. So when you're looking at my light with the light turned off, it just looks like
what we do with the lenses. The reflection boards have it on both sides.
Yeah. The reflection board does, but you could buy the film and put it on
for your lens.
Yeah, and put it on your lens. And what I do when I'm on my light board, I have it on the backside of my my lens, so I don't actually it casts a really good fog.
Yeah, I keep mine on the inside of my light too.
Yeah, on the inside. Yeah.
Also keeps you from scratching it.
Right.
That too.
One of my favorite tools is your window wedge. I actually use it. I think I use it probably more as a pry tool. It's a really good pry tool for taking off panels and whatnot.
Yeah, we have some sign companies that we deal with, and they're using it for window moldings when they got to wrap a vehicle, door trims, stuff like that. So because it's injection molded, it's a nylon.
Yeah, it's heavy duty. I got one of them that I abuse regularly, and it holds up really, really well. What's that thing called? Talon?
The Talon. Yeah, the Talon. Yeah, I used it to actually take the door panel off a Acadia just this afternoon.
I went and bought 4. I got 4 of them. I got 2 in my mobile and 2 in my shop. They're always
I got 3.
Yeah, that thing made a splash, man. That was pretty awesome.
That came out of nowhere, Karl. And I know was that your design, or you helped?
No, it was another technician named Brian Long. He and I met out doing hail, and he had some prototypes, so we worked with him, and then tweaked design for injection molding. And yeah, he had a great design. I love that. I love that wedge.
Well, now you got to get with Hudson and come up with the hybrid.
I know. I saw that somebody posted that the other night. So
yeah,
I texted Hudson and said, "I guess we got to make this happen."
Well, they make flat flashlights, and I could see just a channel in that Talon wedge, a long. It doesn't have to be a round flashlight. It could be the flat ones, and slip it right in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like the simplicity on his design. That turned out really nice.
It did. Yep.
Now you also on your website, you pretty much sell every part and piece to your mini light and your glue gun, don't you?
Yeah, just so if you break something or something wears out, or if you have one of
Dent guys break something? Never. My Stuckey glue gun. I'm not saying to abuse it, but mine may have possibly fallen a time or two and has taken some shots and comes out it takes a licking, keeps on ticking.
Well, you know what? Another thing, I don't even think it's on your website, but I've gone through 3 of your belts too, as well.
It is on the website.
We're down just mediums now, so we're actually
phasing that out.
Products that we're going to be redesigning. Some products we've had before, but we're going to come back probably next year with a better version.
Yeah. No, and if you guys don't see the Stuckey belt, there's no buttons, there's no nothing, there's no clasp or anything. It's just
scratchless.
Right.
Stuckey buckleless belt.
The best belt ever.
Yeah. It's perfect when traveling too, because you don't have to take it off to go through TSA and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's $30 on the website, guys.
Thanks for keeping my pants up.
Pull your pants up and don't scratch your car in the process. You also have some pretty cool T-shirts. Looking across here, I'm just like perusing through your website. You guys got a lot of stuff.
We're getting some IT help too, because we still got a lot. We have stuff that we haven't even put on the website. Like Alma designed a bunch of shirts for the Expo in Orlando this year, and we blew through all of them over the weekend. So she has had some more made, and we just got to get them on the website.
I like your dents. Some too big, none too small.
Oh, that's Big Biscuit. That's a friend of mine, Jared. That's his brainchild there. The Big Biscuit clothing.
Yeah, I see the Big Biscuit. And that's cool.
And we also used to carry Paintless brand, but we've been he ran out of hats, and we haven't had any more come in yet.
Yeah, that's a cool logo as well.
Definitely. Right on.
Cool.
Well, do you got anything else you want to share?
No, just follow us on Facebook or Instagram. We're always going to be, if we have something new, we'll be posting it there. That's usually where it goes first.
Yeah, and keep a lookout on PDR Tool Time, because we love all the Stuckey stuff that we get, and we always talk about it and show it off too. So, we usually have a standing rule that if something isn't quite that good, we don't really talk about it. But everything, we don't, because it's hard to come up with the tool, and it's not for everybody. But help
redesign it. Everything
that we've ever gotten from Stuckey is quality made and everything like that. So we are always talking about it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, hopefully you get your new shop going pretty soon. When are you going to complete that, do you think?
The first phase will be done hopefully in another 2 weeks. I was over there all afternoon with the contractors.
So you're remodeling an existing building? Is that?
Yeah, we bought a commercial building. It's called like a flex property. So it's 2 stories high. And there was an office on one side with an upstairs that wasn't completed yet, just kind of open mezzanine area. And then you have basically a 700 square foot 2-story garage on the other side.
Oh, okay.
So just, redoing everything downstairs, new HVAC, flooring, paint, knocking out walls. It's going to be sweet though when it's done. I mean, we're really excited just to be able to hopefully have more inventory, readily available for customers, have, some more capable staff and room to, actually move and keep stuff. And then we'll have kind of a machine shop upstairs. We'll be able to do research and development and some other things that we have to do, with the tools.
And then when hail hits, you have an air conditioning shop that, techs are going to be wanting to get into, huh?
That's right. So it's you have to do a little shuffling, because you put 2 cars back, two lifted trucks back to back in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Perfect. That's exciting, man. I think it's going to be good for you guys. So
yeah,
it's crazy though when you start doing this, like how everything adds up. There's like
you burn through money fast, right?
The more insurance you need, and
yeah,
but it's going to be sweet when it's done. We're pretty excited.
Yeah, right on, man.
Well, make sure you have Daniel's favorite tool there.
What's that?
What's your favorite
bench
tool?
Grinder.
The bench grinder.
What is it?
The bench grinder. Bench grinder.
There it is. Sorry, I was a little bit late with my sound effect.
No, it didn't work. I didn't hear it.
There it is. All right. Sorry.
We're still having technical difficulties on the.
I got a new board that I'm trying to figure out. So
we're gonna have to send you out a labeler.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, we appreciate you, Karl. Thanks for coming on. And
yeah, thanks for coming
having me on. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah,
All
good
right,
seeing you.
buddy.
So next time you have anything new, just hit us up and we'll get you back on here.
We will. I wanted to get the pliers out to you sooner, but we only got 2 of the prototypes when those first came in for the final production run. So I got those out to a couple, and as soon as I got the other shipment in, you guys got them.
yeah, I like the final product. It
It's
looks
awesome.
good.
It's very good.
Yeah, they look sharp.
It looks pretty.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well,
I
cool.
like pretty.
Well, all right. Well, thanks, Karl, for coming on here.
Yeah.
We're going to move on, and you're more than welcome to hang out or leave us because you are 3 hours ahead of us. But Daniel wanted to call someone.
Yeah.
So
Just give him a call.
we'll give a gentleman a call here and see if he's available.
See if you'd like to talk about his car's extended warranty.
Yes. All right. Let's see if we're ringing. Oh, we're ringing.
Oh,
We got a dial tone.
that works better than the bench grinder.
Okay, Daniel, you talk to him.
All right.
$24-hour day.
Hey, Brice. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
24-hour dents. I caught that.
I was hoping somebody would.
Yep.
So we're calling Brice Kelly. Hey, how you doing, Brice Kelly?
Oh man, I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Are you
guys
still
doing,
Are you still working?
Man, I just got in. How
Okay.
crazy is that? My wife hates me, but
What time
we're
is it
doing
there?
a kitchen right now.
It's 9:30 in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
See?
working on a really bad dent. So, what's new, right?
Well, that's shocking to hear that you're actually working on a really bad dent.
All right.
Yeah.
So what tool did you use to finish that dent?
What did I use? I always finish with the Stanliner. I think it's the 24-inch sword. I think that's the one.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
that's my finishing tool. Yeah.
The sword. So that's the one that kind of
It's kind of a
hooks
flat
up.
blade.
Yeah, it's flat.
Exactly. Yeah, it's got a nice. I don't know how they do it, but man, it just leaves the cleanest push.
Yeah, it is
It's just
amazing.
Great.
Well, hold on, because we got to back up. Where were you using that? On a fender door?
I was using it on a quarter panel.
Okay.
I was on an Audi S4. It was a pretty rare car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
super
Steel panel or aluminum?
Aluminum.
steel. Yeah,
Steel.
it was a steel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Even
It was
better.
smashed
And I'm
up
sure
on-
are we going to see a post of this dent that you're talking about?
What do you think?
Yeah. the one thing
if
about
I
you,
spend
man,
10
you,
hours
you-
on a dent. Yeah. I mean, if I spend 10 hours, it's going to get posted.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me ask you this, Brice, because I know, I take videos. This is Vince, by the way.
Hey, Vince.
When I do videos of before and afters and durings and stuff like that, how much time do you think it adds to your dent when you're actually doing a videography of it and, showcasing it?
That's a good question. I think it probably adds solid. You mean to get it to a level of like almost perfect? Is that what you mean?
Well, yeah, like just
to get it ready for the camera.
yeah. Well, not just
Okay.
getting it ready for the camera. How much time do you think you spend, getting it ready for the camera and taking your shots and stopping? How much?
It's got to be a solid. Maybe if we combined it, good hour or two.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I think that's what some people don't realize is that when you're taking videos of dents and stuff like that, not just you, but all
Right.
of us, even tools, when we're showcasing tools, we're taking a lot of time. A dent that might have taken us 3 hours is now taking us 4 or 4.5, 5 hours.
Oh,
because,
absolutely. Yeah.
and that doesn't even include the editing when you go home at night and, start
Yeah.
putting it together.
That's what eats up a lot
Just
of
trying to
time.
get it done in the field. Yeah.
So guys are probably
Absolutely.
going to wonder what are you using it to film with? Are you using your phone? You using a GoPro? What are you using?
I actually, man, I love the iPhone. I mean, the iPhone is just so powerful.
Right.
I've got
It works
iPhone
great.
8. Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's so simple and easy to use. I mean, it's really. I mean, it's just you pull it out and you got it ready and you're good to go, man. And it's just always there on your side. So I use that in combination. If I'm doing like a time lapse repair where I've got like 7 hours of footage or something like that, I'm gonna obviously have to use like a handheld or something on a tripod, with a lot of storage on it. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. Now, are you planning on making it out to MTE Vegas? We were talking about that earlier.
Man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that, unfortunately. I would love to, man. I really would. I've never been to Vegas. I'd love to, but I just don't think the cards are going to align. Or the stars. Not the cards, but the stars, yeah.
Well, Bryce, we travel 3,000 miles for yours in Florida.
I know, right? That's so selfish of me.
It's very selfish.
Yeah.
It is very. I do apologize.
We forgive you.
Man, I'd love to. I would, yeah.
One of the reasons I wanted to get Brice on today, because I was curious, is like you're doing some big repairs and you're doing all your estimates over the phone. Am I correct there?
You are correct. Preliminary estimates typically. We start out with pictures. I mean, I don't go out to look at dents. I make sure I get a picture first.
So I think that's extremely hard to do, because one of the things that, having a brick and mortar place and doing the big dents that I do too, is that I think I have an advantage of when I don't do any kind of estimating over the phone, pictures or anything like that. I tell them they have to come in. I make the excuse. I scan the vehicle with some software, tells me what the panel's made of. Is it aluminum, high strength steel? Is there bracing in the way? So I kind of give them a little bit of razzle dazzle there to get them in there. And then hopefully they're impressed with my shop and the professionalism that goes along with it. And that allows me to land that big number in person. And it's much easier, I think, than trying to do it over the phone. So how do you tell guys, how do you get around that?
Well, I mean, it basically is a system that I've kind of developed where, you got to get the customers in, right? So I'm depending on the volume of customers coming in. And that's all done with with Google AdWords. And typically, if I'm averaging about anywhere between, we'll say 10 and 20 customers sending photos a day, you kind of, you pick and choose. I'm always, I don't want to say shooting for the stars, but I mean, I basically will send back an illustrated price range with the price guide attached to their photo, everything circled and justified through the pricing guide. And they have a good understanding just based on that. And I use that in addition to just a good, thorough text message explaining everything. And, I mean, I'm about maybe, I would say 20% at close on average. But it works out great. It works out great.
I'm the same with you, Brice. I do 90% of my estimates by text message first with pictures and stuff like that, or email.
I mean, you get to know the vehicles. You know what you're getting into typically. Yeah. I mean, just from experience,
You have that Rolodex in your brain, and when they say right front fender of a S5 or S6 or something, okay, possibly aluminum. Okay, body lines. You know where the body lines are. You have all that in your brain. It's like, okay, you go through
and the
checklist.
Mobile Tech RX. Is also definitely something that I kind of incorporate as well. I'm actually doing a video coming up soon with that. Kind of like when you can record the screen, like kind of showing customers how I go about estimating a car, just kind of a little demonstration. I'm always tinkering with videos, trying to answer any questions that arise through video because it's so powerful,
Right. Well, one of the things that you said that really prompted this phone call is that your fantastic YouTube videos really do all the upfront selling for you. So if they've watched your videos, you have a much easier time landing that customer, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the marketing's already done. If you're putting out content that's that's going to answer people's questions, like I had people asking me constantly, well, what do you think it's going to look like when it's done? And I finally came to the conclusion that I needed a video on that. So I put together a video just based on that. What would my repair look like when it's finished? And people get a kick out of that. They're like, man, I watched that video. That's exactly what I was looking for. Sold. When can you come do it? So stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, that's one of those things I love about your videos is you don't necessarily make your videos for other dent guys. You're making them for the customer.
Exactly. Yeah. It's really, it's kind of a hybrid almost. You know, I kind of take it to, you know, the customer and, you know, for you know, helping out other dent guys as well. You know, I mean, I've just recently started doing that, kind of incorporating, you know, different techniques and things like that for dent guys, along with, you know, answering questions that customers may have. So.
Now you're strictly mobile, aren't you?
I am, yeah, 100%.
All right.
Yeah.
So you do all these big smashes in people's driveway. You ever get a crowd around you outside?
Oh yeah, oof. Man, I had a guy pull up a chair the other day. He was filming the whole thing. It was crazy. It was a little creepy, actually.
I hate that. I don't work the same when somebody's watching me.
I'm coming to the conclusion that I don't like, because it's like it's a little awkward. You know, it's like you're trying to do your thing, and it's like, man.
Especially when you pull out that metal knockdown and you're starting to use the metal knockdown on their car.
Yeah.
Or the oops, you know. Or the oops. We all have the oops where it's like, oh, and you're in your shop, you're like, oh, that sucked.
Exactly,
but you can't do that when the customer's sitting there.
Yeah. No.
It's like you got to stay calm, but you got that little vein throbbing in your forehead. You know, it's like, oh
my God,
tool slipped.
Yeah. I had a X-body guy one time. He's like, he pulled up a chair. Sometimes I'll I'll get real comfortable with the customers, and I'm like, yeah, just pull up a chair. You can watch. Feel free. It's your house. And they take it, you know, literally. They actually pull up a chair and they sit down. And this one guy actually, man, he started like feeling the panel as I was working on it, like so awkward, like rubbing the panel, and I'm like, his hands like 2 inches from my face, and it's just. So awkward.
And they don't have any idea that you're obstructing your reflection.
Yeah.
They don't have a friggin' clue.
Like, excuse me, personal space, sir. You know, I mean, no, I didn't say that, but it's just awkward.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Hey, you're gonna get rid of that texture, aren't you? You're gonna do that, aren't you?"
Oh God, yeah. You gotta love those.
Yeah,
I got a lot of those too. So.
It's one of those things too that, you know, we have a very lonesome job if you're a lone guy that's out there doing mobile retail and stuff like that. And just like videoing, when someone sits there and watches me fix it, it adds time to my repair because I break away out, get in a conversation with them, and it's taking me out of focus of what I'm actually doing.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain focus.
Definitely. For sure.
How long is this going to take? Well, if you sit here and talk to me, it's going to take 2 hours. Otherwise, it's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes if you go inside.
I know, right? You got to always be nice. You always have to be nice.
That's right.
And it's even worse if it's something easy and it only takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're watching.
The tough part is embellishing the repair. Oh, you know, and it's like, and you're done. You know, but you're like, oh boy, man, I'm just not sure.
Yeah. That's $150. That only took you 5 minutes.
It's really hard to fake.
It is
cleaning up orange peel on the panel. Yeah. So
I'll cross check it like 12 ways. You know, it's like I didn't even know there was that many directions you could put a light. Until the customer is sitting there staring at you. You're like, you know what? I think I need to slide this thing under and wrap it around the drive shaft once and double check it from that angle. So
Brice, tell us, do you have anything coming down the pipes at all that you want to let our listening audience know about?
You know, I get a lot of inquiries about the training, like personal training, you know, not personal training, but actually like one-on-one PDR training. And yes, there is something in the works. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
So that's probably the only thing that's coming down the pipe.
Well, I was going to ask about the personal training. It's like I got these couple extra pounds.
I know, right? I got to start working on myself, really.
Yeah. And I think that personal training is going to be taking your customer for a walk. Yeah, just take them around the block. I got a little time to fix this panel with you.
So let me ask you a question. So mobile wise, do you set goals for yourself for like money wise? What would do you want to share what like a good goal would be for you in a day of, do you set it by money? Do you set it by cars? What do you do personally?
Yeah, I mean, I of course, yeah, I'd like to achieve a goal every day. I mean, I don't always hit the mark, but, you know, a good, solid technician, I mean, with the right customers and the right business, you know, mindset, I would say anywhere between, you know, we'll say a good solid day of 1,300 all the way up to like 2,500. You know, that's a good solid retail day, you know?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So, I mean, it wasn't always like that, you know, until I met, Paul Corden. So that's
everything comes back to Paul.
It really does. I mean, it's a pivotal thing that when that price guide hit, it was just like mind blowing. Like,
yeah,
wow,
he raised our.
Where was I the last, you know, 12 years doing PDR? You know, why was I pricing things the way I did? But that I attribute all of this stuff to that alone. I think.
I do too.
Well, I think those are a phenomenal goal. Definitely as a mobile tech, and doing the smash repairs that you do. I mean, not only do a lot of guys have trouble bidding a smash damage, but let alone completing it.
Well, doing it in somebody's driveway, you bid a job, but you don't know where that job's at. Are you going to be out on the gravel? Are you going to be inside a nice garage? Are you going to, what's your environment like? Because
that's a tough thing. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, it's, I always try to, make sure I'm out of the sun. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me. I will make sure, like, if a customer has a garage and they have 2 feet of space in it, I'm putting the car in the garage. I mean, that's just, I'm going to get the front end of that car in the garage or the rear end, whatever it is.
Yeah, we can all work in very tight situations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we make it work. We're efficient, with our space and our tools. And I always find a way to make it work.
Do you ask that question in your...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty clear before I come out to the job, I'll just ask if they have a space that I could possibly use, or if there's a shaded area. Typically, is how I approach it, in a nice way. If they don't, then I just break out my my Ian Cordell mobile tech shade.
There you go.
Yeah.
What do you do when you get out to a job and you go, whoa, that didn't look like that in the picture, and I can't. Maybe you say, I don't want to do that one.
That's all taken care of with the price range before I get out there, because the price range is extremely broad, and the right customers will be pretty understanding to that. If you're somewhere between, some of my price ranges are like $1,000 difference. I mean, $1,000 to $2,000 or something.
Yeah.
But, these are people that are doing their research, that understand, that have found me online and are really, keen on getting a good job done. And they want the very best possible outcome. So that, the ideal customer, that's a huge thing with PDR. Man.
I think you nailed it right there. Ideal customer, Yeah,
you have to have the right customers. I mean, all these people complaining about not getting the right prices. It's all coming down to the people that are researching you. You have to, you have to be out there, and you have to show people what you can do, and you have to know your worth. It's just, in the beginning, man, I was just, like anybody, my prices were too low, way too low. And you just learn, what you can do, what you can produce, the willpower, of PDR. You have to have that willpower to finish it off, and stay till the end and make sure it's perfect and as good as we can get it, at least,
I was at a body shop today that he only calls me out maybe 3 times a year. And in the last week, he's called me out 4 times. And that's one of the things he said to me was he's got his regular dent master guy that comes, and he calls me out to fix the stuff that he can't fix. And last week he called me out on a Mustang hood that had a high spot from a wing nut that just almost broke the paint. It was so severe and sharp. And he goes, the guy just shows up. He gets out of the car's still running, doors open. He walks over, says no, gets back in the car and leaves. Right? So he has zero confidence in the repair to begin with. You know, I said, send me a picture. I said, I don't know if I can fix that, but I'll give it a shot.
It's an aluminum hood.
Sure.
Right?
No, it's an old one. It was a 64 Mustang.
Oh, okay.
So it had a carburetor with a wing nut.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
So, and I went there and I took out my hammer, my Craftsman hammer and knockdown, and I start beating on him. I'm like, oh crap, I can't fix this. I mean, it's on the body line and it's a sharp dent right in the center, or high spot right in the center. Almost broke the paint. And then I pulled out my VIP, the one that looks like, what did they call it? Elephant toe or whatever. The half moon.
Yeah.
The elephant toe. I like elephant toe.
So I go to him. I say, hey, what are you going to do if I can't fix this? He's like, well, my technician did it. We have to repaint the hood. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take one more whack at this and see what happens. And within a couple minutes, I had it down into a dent and I was able to bring it back up. Because when you get it, when you get a hard,
great feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then he told me about his other technician. He just leaves the door open, comes, says no, gets in the car and leaves. So now he's called me 3 times in the past week because the other guy doesn't even care. He's not advancing his skills. And my philosophy is, even if I can't fix it, at least I'll learn something from it and bring it on to the next job.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is the mentality to have in this business.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you have to test yourself, put yourself out of your comfort zone, like constantly.
Yeah.
And you get onto the next job, it's a lot easier. You know?
It is.
Yeah. If you could add up the losses that we've all had in that philosophy,
it'd be massive.
But
man, I had the biggest failure of my PDR career probably about a month ago. It was the absolute worst nightmare.
Was it that rear quarter panel on that Infinity or a G? What was it? A Lexus?
It was an Infinity, yeah, actually. I don't know how you knew that, but it was, yeah.
Well, you posted a picture
Did
of
I tell that story?
No, but you posted a picture of a rear quarter panel on a Lexus or an Infinity. I'm like, there's no way he's going to fix that. But I'm just going to shut up because he probably will.
No, I don't know if you want me to go into that, but it was just bad. It was a really...
Well, tell about a failure. You know,
well,
we all have one.
Yeah, we all...
Yeah, make us all feel good.
We do. Okay, all right. So this was an insurance paid job, and did the estimate, got approved, went out to the customer's office, and it was a really bad dent on an Infinity QX60 right quarter panel, and it was right through the body line, deep shot. And as you all know, Nissan or Infinity is not known for their excellent paint jobs.
Yeah.
They're kind of they skim on the clear, I think, quite a bit. So I don't know. I got this thing all set up, and I was actually doing an insurance video, like how to file a claim for insurance, and have insurance pay for your paintless dent repair. And I had everything set up, tripod set up. I must have spent 2 hours getting everything just set up, and I just approached this thing the wrong way. I glue pulled the center of this thing. I should not have. I should have completely tooled it from the start, and I pulled it, and it just popped paint right in the center.
Yep.
And it was just a $2,000 job, and easily.
Yep.
And I lost it. I lost it. And it was a terrible day, but you'll learn from that.
Yeah.
And,
do you think it was? Do you think it was paint, or was it too cold out?
Yeah,
or
well, no. The center, basically the center got locked up basically while I was doing a control pull, and I watched it. I actually stopped the repair and I tried to reverse and try to work it, but during that process alone, I watched the paint just delaminate right in the center, and it's just worst day ever. It was just the tiniest little bubble too, and it's such a nice vehicle. I had no other option. I just pulled the cord, and I went inside the bank where she was working, and I gave her the bad news. It was just a really bad day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we all have them.
But fortunately, I didn't have to pay for a paint job. So
yeah.
She just went and had it done at one of the collision shops I recommended. And we all have failures, man. It definitely that was one of them, and I went home with my tail between my legs on that day.
Yeah, but you learned a lot too, through it. It was
you totally did. Yeah.
I had a G35, and I won't pull on Infinities anymore because I pulled the paint on an easy
the
dent.
Paint is just not, even with the heat. I mean, I'm not blaming the paint. I think it was just an error on my part. I was just, I had my mind in a different place, and I was doing the video, and I was coming back and forth with that, and then I just started glue pulling the thing. And it just,
I noticed a common theme. Most of the last one, and this has been a few years, just a big gnarly dent, and that is, I got over cocky and put the glue tab in the wrong spot and made the wrong pull and just locked the whole thing up into a mess.
Oh, yeah. It'll do it, man. That's
very, sometimes you don't know what the impact of that dent. It compromises the paint sometimes, and it's unseen.
Yeah.
You can't predict it, and sometimes I did it last week on a Mercedes, and it was down on next to the bumper, and it pulled a little bit of paint. Fortunately, I touched it up and I did a great job on the repair, except for the paint missing there. And I touched it up, and I brought the customer back, and I'm like, okay, well, everything came out great, but a little bit of paint came off. And he goes, "Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's great." And I'm like, "Oh, thank
God."
I
could have used that excuse.
Yeah, I love it when a customer's like that.
Yeah.
So, well, Brice, we appreciate you coming on and sharing a little bit of your wisdom.
It's always
with
a pleasure,
everybody.
man. I love this show. I listen to it every chance I get. So
cool.
That's great.
Well, now that we have my new mixing board, we're calling all sorts of texts. So
that's awesome, man. You got a mixing board.
Yeah,
awesome.
I got this awesome Rode mixing board. It's the phone's integrated to it. Everything's seamless now. So
yeah, the only thing that's not seamless seems to be a pinch grinder sound effect.
Oh, this one. There it is.
Yes.
All right. Well, tell me a joke so I can hit the rim shot. No jokes.
Somebody.
All right. Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. Well, I'll do a little bit of an applause for Brice Kelly. Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no
All right,
worries.
guys.
Anytime, man.
Well, cool.
Have a good night, okay, guys?
Thanks, Brice.
See you, Brice.
Take care.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye now. Oh, beep. All right.
Poking those.
All right. That takes us out on another episode of PDR Tool Time. Great show, guys.
We want to thank everyone for joining us on episode 178 once again with your hosts. And thanks.
And don't forget.
Hold on. Yeah. Thanks to Karl Stuckey for coming on and feeding us some Stuckey information. We always appreciate that. Brice Kelly.
For those exciting things coming down the line from Stuckey Tools.
Yeah, and Brice Kelly coming on so we could pick his brain a little bit and see how he does things. Right?
Yep.
All right, Daniel, take us out now.
Okay. Level up your tools.
Don't do stupid stuff.
And keep it stiff. Thanks for listening.